it's Sky. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new speed build video. And in today's video, we are going to be building a family home on a lot known as Via Romanza. I believe it is a 30 by 30 lot in the world, which is very beautiful. It is Tartosa, and Tartosa is the world that came with the My Wedding Stories game pack. And I'm so far loving it. I really like it because the world that comes with it is very vibrant and also unique in a way that it is very landscaped, and also the landscaping looks more posh compared to the other worlds, and I think that is a wonderful thing because it is very different. And today we are going to be building a family home which consists of 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, I believe. And it is fitted for maybe 4 to 6 sims. But the number of beds that I included for this build and the total is only 3 beds. So you can easily change 2 of the beds into bunk beds to fit more sims. But other than that, it is just a small family home. And I think I wanted to build this family home because I realized that previously I built a little chapel and the other one was a villa. So it doesn't really have a family theme going on, so I decided to build a family home suited for this world, which is very small on a 30 by 30 lot. And even though it's small, I think it looks very expensive. But do let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I had a lot of fun building and furnishing this house to make it look expensive. So I really like the decorations that I used, that are a mixture of the Sims packs, and it is not a limited pack build. So you might have to have more than one of those packs if you want to download this house. And if you want to download this house, it is already up in the gallery under my ID, which is simmerkhai. And for this build, I think it was a fun build because the theme that I was going for was more towards the Mediterranean side, and also I had a lot of fun landscaping and also filling up the garden part of this house, especially because the garden is pretty big. There is a fountain in the middle of the garden, and then there is also a couple of like structures for outdoor activities and stuff like that, but you will see that after this. But anyways, we are working on the structure over here, and you can see that the structure looks pretty simple. I think it is looking like a suburban home, except that what makes it Mediterranean-ish is the roofing and also the decorations of the roofing. So there isn't much difference if you want to compare it to a normal suburban home, but I guess the thing that is different is the roofing, and also there are a few hallways that only consist of arches which don't have any fences or any wall stuck to it, so your sim can easily access the pathways through the arches. And I think this was a fun build also because it is family themed. It's been a while since I've done a family theme build, so I decided to do it for this one. And I think it's a pretty exciting theme for me because, you know, I love building family homes and just homes that are fitted for like more than one sim, because recently I don't really have a lot of time to build big builds, so I usually build like small cottages fitted for up to 2 sims. But for this one, I think it is a pretty nice house because it can fit more than like 2 sims. So that is the bonus for this video, I guess. But in the near future, I think I might just go with simple builds and builds that are for like 1 or 2 sims to make things easier for me so that I can balance out what I want to build. But if you have any ideas of what I should build for the next few builds, maybe you can let me know in the comments if you want to. And here I'm just adjusting the roofs because I wanted to do this kind of balcony which has like no roofing. As you can see, I used the fences, but in the end I switched it back to normal roofing because I couldn't really align the roofs that are existing behind that part so that it doesn't look awkward. but unfortunately it did look awkward, so I decided to just keep it fully covered roofing and just leave it like that. But there are a lot of lounge areas in this build that I can confirm because there are a lot of spaces for lounge areas, and I believe the number of lounge areas, the total number is like 3 or 4 lounge areas, which are on the outside of the house in the garden and also on the inside of the house. So there are a lot of lounge areas. But the only thing that I don't really like about this build is that the kitchen of this build is pretty small, and it's because of the spacing of the house. I wanted to like adjust it properly so that the kitchen is bigger, but I just really like the structure from the outside, so I decided not to touch the inside by extending it or anything like that. So it is kind of a small kitchen in there, but the other areas of this build are just pretty nice, I guess. But over here we are starting off with this landscaping, and I was going to like decide which trees I should use. So I kind of like sorted the trees out on the land so that I could see them easily. And the trees that I chose are the cypress trees that are from the base game debug menu, and also the ones that are from the My Wedding Stories pack menu. Debug menu, I mean, which I think are olive trees. I'm not so sure what type of tree it is, but it looks like a very dry and like olive type of tree. So I decided to use those trees because they look pretty nice and also pretty expensive. And I imagine that the family living here is of like a upper class family, maybe not like so wealthy. They have money, but like they're not billionaires or something like that. So that they just have a pretty upper class normal life, whatever that is. But this house also has this outdoor activities area, which is kind of this like pagoda, I think is what it's called. It is a very simple structure with a lot of arches, and I also managed to use a lot of those arches that you see over here because the theme is Mediterranean, and I thought that the Mediterranean arches look very, very nice. Although I can imagine that the arches that are from the kit, the Oasis kit, I'm not so sure what it's called, but it's that like what is it called? I forgot. But I imagine that those arches might be more suitable for this type of build since it is kind of Mediterranean as well. I mean, the kit. So I guess if you want to try that out, you can. But for this build, I decided to just stick to basics and not use any kit, I believe. I didn't use any kit, maybe except for the Blooming Rooms kit. But the other kits I didn't touch at all simply because I wanted to make it only base game and pack kind of build. Because kits are very, very like negligible in my opinion. So it doesn't really make much of a difference unless it is the Blooming Rooms kit. But as you can see, the garden is pretty much big and there is a fountain in the middle. At first I wanted to put it as a pool, but I ended up going for a fountain instead because I wanted to use those stepping stones, which I am not so sure if they are functional or not for your sim to actually use those stepping stones. But I just decided to turn it into a fountain because I thought that would be more efficient. And then we are starting off also furnishing the interior of the home, which is going to be the hallway at first. And there is, I think, a couple of hallways. The other one was near the entrance, and the other one is by the stairs that leads to the upper floor level. And then over here is just the living room, which is shared with the dining room and also the kitchen. The kitchen, like I said, is pretty small and it pretty much sucks for this build, but it is fully functional, I believe, and I didn't really have any problems for my sims to access some of the stuff. So it is a pretty functional family home that you can use if you want to download it, and you can use to play your Tartosian family. But I also decided to use these curtains from base game for some of the windows of the house and raise them up by I think 0.2 units using the tool mod so that they looked more attached to the window frame, because if I didn't do that it would be in the middle of the window and it would look super awkward. So I decided to raise them up a bit so that they look like they're attached to the window frame. And over here is going to be the kitchen, which are the cabinets that I use are from the Jungle Adventure pack. I really like that pack because of the cabinets only. The other parts of the pack are okay, but in terms of decorating a house, I think the nicest part for that pack is going to be the cabinet, because it looks modern and you don't really expect modern furniture in such a like exotic pack. And I really like the cabinets, so I used them here because I also thought that the brown and the style of the cabinet suited a Mediterranean style. But over here is going to be the dining room, which has like 6 seats and it is pretty much in the middle of the hallway, and it is fully functional. It is not blocked by anything, and it is a pretty functional family home. Like I said, there are a lot of like lounges in this home and also a lot of like hallways. So this is the third hallway, which is going to be kind of the storage hallway where I just put in the shelving unit from the Laundry Day stuff pack, which looks pretty cozy. So I decided to put it in this build. And then over here is going to be the master bedroom, which is on the ground floor. And usually I put master bedrooms up on the second floor, but I decided to put it on the ground floor simply because it is much bigger that way. And I also imagine that a master bedroom should be big, if you compare it to like other bedrooms of the same build. But we are moving on to the second level of the house, which is where the second and third bedrooms are. And I believe I was imagining that this bedroom over here belongs to the older sibling, who is very studious and very minimalistic. So there isn't much clutter in her room or any decoration. It is just filled with some basics such as that desk and also that computer unit from base game, and just very minimalist and simply decorated, just because I imagine that, you know, she doesn't really like clutter or anything like that. And then over here is going to be the younger sibling's bedroom, which is a pretty smaller bedroom compared to the older sibling's bedroom, and it is pretty simple as well. And I imagine that the sim that has this bedroom is not a teenager, maybe a preteen. And I built this house according to the family that I downloaded from the gallery, so it is a themed build and also pretty much planned easily. But then over here is the other lounge area that I was talking about, and this house also has a balcony at the back of the house, and I just put in a picnic table from the Cats and Dogs pack, as well as a couple of planter boxes and some barbecuer stuff. But over here is just another hallway. There isn't much going on for this hallway except that I put in a couple of seating areas so that your sim can just lounge around and enjoy the sun while being shaded. And then over here is, like I said, is going to be the activities area, which I just included a chess table, a flower arrangement table, a woodworking table, and also an art easel. And then I put also some sitting lounge chairs from the new pack, which can be found under outdoor comfort, and I really like the style of those chairs. And I also included a basketball area for the younger sims to play around. And that's pretty much it for the video. I really hope that you guys will like this build. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I hope to talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!